All right. All right. Peace, peace. Blessings, Sapo. Honorable One, the Success Scholar. Akeisha Shakur, me here. Thank you all for tuning in, listening in. So the name of this piece is called the NAACP versus the Urban League. The Battle of the Boules. The Boule on Boule crime. And HNIC syndrome. Alright. So, many people may not be aware or know what I'm talking about, but there was a conference. I'm sorry. Well, yes. Well, first, yes. There was a conference in Baltimore. NAACP had their national convention / conference. I went there to support some of the authors. I did not necessarily go to the workshops. I thought that, persons should have had the Success Scholar, speaking, doing something. Something for the young people coming to my town. It's like, word. All right. So, hey, I know the routine. I know how some folk, I know how some folk operate. But this video is about a recent travel ban that the NAACP put out. Now, they put this out. They had their convention in Baltimore. They put out this warning, travel advisory, saying or suggesting that Missouri, the state of Missouri, should be on the travel ban list or the watch list, or not necessarily travel ban, travel warning, I apologize. Because of the consistent racism and the threats and the racial profiling that happens. Oh, look at that deer. That happens in Missouri. Now, why this is so unique, right? This happened. They put this advisory out on Thursday of last week. Wait a minute, what's today? Yeah, Thursday. Last Thursday. And the Urban League's convention was starting that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So this is going to be interesting how this is played out. I did attend the Urban League conference in Baltimore. I just wanted to get a feel. And that's why I didn't spend a whole lot of time. That's why I didn't spend a whole lot of time at the NAACP convention, because I'm like, what else am I going to learn? Like, for real? I'd rather spend my time going to some, don't get me wrong. I'm very interested in listening to different people's perspectives on different topics. Some people have some good facts and data, so you can kind of sift and sort through some of the conversations. So I went to the state NAACP discussion just to kind of feel what different people were talking about, so that I can have a good, intelligent conversation. But I'm also more so interested in, some real practical solutions. So what I'm seeing is a battle, right? You know, things are getting tight. You know, you got the NAACP, the Urban League, and now you have Reverend Al keeping it real Sharpton. Man, it rained the last time I was on my way home. Now you have Reverend Al keeping it real Sharpton, bringing it up. You know, talking about civil rights. And everybody's jockeying for donations and memberships and grants. Everybody's positioning themselves of who's going to be the HNIC organization in the 21st century. Who's going to survive? That's why I said the battle of the Boules. So for you all that may not know about the Boule, I know some folks, they ain't gonna like that. I just thought that was a funny title. I tripped myself out. But yeah. I mean, now let me just say that there was a conversation about this. That some folk were suggesting that it may just be a coincidence, right? You put out a travel advisory at the beginning of the conference that, you know, a historic civil rights organization, were to begin their conference. Now there was discussions about whether this was an attempt to sabotage and to put fear into conference attendees and make people think like, well, what do they know? What's going on? Why shouldn't we go to I believe St. Louis for the Urban League conference? Now, you know, like I said, some people suggested it was a coincidence. You know, I'm like, you know, I'm not buying it. That don't even sound right. That don't even sound right. Like, why couldn't they wait 5 days ahead of time? Like, so I mean, it's almost like, for instance, you're trying to kill the economy of some sort of the state of Missouri, but you almost like slapping the hands of the Urban League, for instance, for going to the NAACP convention. I'm sorry, the Urban League for going to St. Louis. I apologize. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence. I think that somewhere along the line, you know, somebody thought it would be, you know, maybe they had a conversation before. Maybe NAACP and Urban League and maybe some other civil rights organizations had a conversation before, and maybe they thought that they should block St. Louis and Missouri from getting commerce, and maybe the Urban League went over the picket line, or they stopped the boycott of Missouri. So now the NAACP trying to push their weight around and try to kind of politically propaganda and create almost like, you know, a fearful environment. You know, you got old people who really may hold on to the NAACP's, you know, every word. They may be like, oh wow, I'm not going, you know. And so it starts confusion in the ranks, you know. It starts confusion amongst different organizations, you know. So, and I've interacted with both organizations, the people that are in them. I mean, you know, for what it's worth, I mean, you know, they might do some kind of local conference or something where you can go and pay a little amount of money and hear from some different business people. So, you know, it could be beneficial to show up every once in a while. But, you know, I mean, especially, you know, some lawyers and some free legal advice or something. I mean, for those that may need some of these things, or, you know, employment rights type of things, some people may need, you know, those types of services. Advocacy, something may happen. You may know people within your community, so you can, some people have been through the system and can, you know, really use some of these services. So I'm not suggesting that people can't use them, but I just believe that sometimes, you know, people in these organizations, I hope y'all can hear me. It is raining like cats and dogs. But I just don't think that, you know, individuals tend to be well-rounded, you know, that's in these organizations. And, you know, leadership tends to be a little stagnant. And even the young leadership that come up, you know, part of it, I mean, you know, intellectually, you know, I mean, they're trained, you know, they're not reading broadly to understand, you know, our history in all aspects. You know, it's just the same old strategies, you know. It's just hop on whatever new phenomenon that may pop up, every new issue that may pop up. Immigrant rights, okay, yeah, sound like we should fight for it. You know, the new homo transgender rights, okay, yeah, that's what we're about now. Whatever's hot, whoever is giving some money for something, you know, that's what we so-called fight for. So I'm saying individuals that are in these different organizations, you know, just keep an open mind, you know, in terms of, you know, the quality of individuals that you tend to associate with, as well as what your own life and options may need to happen, you know, to build an institutions and to build communities. So, and there's a book out. Well, actually, there's two books, but one I haven't read some years ago. It's called the Head Negro in Charge Syndrome, and it talks about historically how Caucasians would put one Negro in charge, and they would say, this is who you're supposed to listen to, this is your leader, this is who you take direction from. And so now what I believe, for instance, is coming to some screeches in the road with the third leg of Al Sharpton's National Action Network being upsetting the cherry card a little bit and maybe pushing the envelope a little bit harder on some level. So, and maybe these folks, they pretend that they may agree, but you know, individual organizations, it's unfortunate that many, you know, are just positioning themselves for some kind of paycheck, you know, some kind of donations, and they are too independent minded, and intellectually they are, you know, not well versed to know what their options may be. So again, I just wanted to put it out there. You all can go do your research on the story. But I just thought that it was a snub and a kind of a slate. What's the term? Kind of a little slap there. You know, a little insider battle of the Boule beef. So that's all I have. I'm out, y'all. I gotta get home. It is like raining, like, man, it's been raining like crazy these past few days. I need to be in the house. Get home, I'm gonna read this 50-cent book, the 50 of Law. I have been wanting to get to. I had it left it at my other house. But yeah, so I'm out. Holla at the Success Scholar. Tune in this Monday. I'm gonna have Dr. Dennis Kimbrough on eLife Media. Like, subscribe, share, follow. Like, subscribe, share, and follow. Good things are happening. Yes, do invite the Success Scholar to your town, to your city. We're building a conscious, empowered movement. Indeed. We got something major coming up. We're going to need some thinkers, some organizers, some workers. So stay connected. Holla at the Success Scholar. I'm out. Peace.